Alright, dickheads, welcome back to practicing challenge 52. Athoro is my god. Yes, my voice is fucked. It's actually gotten worse since earlier today. Holy fuck, bro. Hearing my own voice makes me want to kill myself. But anyways, Athoro is my god, right? Who am I? I'm Viggy. I've been drawing for 3 years and 8 months, right? The fundamentals are 90% of my practice. This channel is a repository of my practice to prove that anybody, especially you, fuck, maybe I should do this, especially you, especially you, can draw, right? With that being said, get your pen, get your paper, and draw along. Please and thank you. Oh my god, bro, I can't, my voice is actually so gone. It's because I was sucking with Thor's dick so hard. All that gluck really hurt. But anyways, what am I doing, right? We're doing a Thoro's Challenge 52, right? Link in description. But basically, like each week is a different set of exercises, right? And there's like there's like easy, casual, heavy, and then hardcore, something like that. And each one like is like how many repetitions you do, right? So easy is like 50, casual is like 100. I think heavy is like 200, and then hardcore is like 250, some shit like that. But the point is, I'm taking a step back, and I am giving this challenge the respect it deserves. I'm giving Athoro the respect it deserves. Because before, if you look at my previous parts, it went from me like really trying to hardcore make it more difficult to me also then trying to like turn it into fun with forms. And that's all good and all. But I want to use this as an opportunity to get the mileage in, reform my basics, and make it difficult in a different way. Which is I want to what I'm gonna be doing, and I know it's really hard to listen to me with my voice being as fucked up as it is. Trust me, I hate myself as well. But how we're going to make this more difficult for ourselves is I'm going to do exactly what I did with the portrait roadmap right now. Is not as intense, but basically I'm going to be visualizing the boxes. But when I do, I'm going to try, the goal is to basically visualize the box and the diagonal cross sections inside the box, right? As much as I can, as fast as I can, and to hold that as much as I can while I apply the line. The goal is to balance as much speed as possible with in terms of mark making with zooming out and applying the line. And right now, like, this is a great practice because this way I get to focus on just drawing the simple form, which is the box, but I also get to practice the difficulty of visualizing like I am doing right now. Like right now I've already lost the diagonal cross sections multiple times, right? But I get to practice the difficulty of zooming out and visualizing the dozens of calculations that are occurring, right? And this also gives me the opportunity to zoom out and to also think about the horizon line a lot more. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing, right? So it's Athoro's Challenge 52. Some of them will have a lot more of a convergence, others will not. But the point is, I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to essentially, and I'm going to be doing hardcore, so I'm doing 500 repetitions, right? But I'm going to be using this as an opportunity to essentially find the optimal, not optimal, sorry, the best balance that I can. Bro, I hate my voice. I fucking hate my voice right now. But anyways, the best balance that I can between visualizing, calculating, and applying, right? Because for my portrait series, it was all calculating and very little, it was all calculating and visualizing, but very little being able to do the mark making. So my mark making suffered, right? But now that I'm integrating this into my interleaving, right? This portraits, it'll be portrait, challenge 52, figures, art what figure roadmap, and then I'm going to specifically segment the hand section in the art what figure roadmap even more so. So yeah, that's the goal. So what am I thinking about right now? I'm thinking about this cross section, trying to zoom out, trying to see through the form as well. That's the other thing. The goal is to consistently see through the form as fast as I can, as well as I can while I apply these marks, right? And this is going to train me to zoom out, to see through the form, and to visualize the diagonal cross sections. So I feel like shit right now. Like I have a huge, well, I don't think it's there anymore, but I had a pretty big headache, right? My fucking nose is all runny. My dick itches, like things are just not good, right? So, and in spite of all that, I'm here drawing, right? And this is great. Like I actually get to use this as an opportunity to visualize and course correct. Like right now, like when I look here, I'm constantly looking at seeing through the form, looking at the diagonal cross sections. And this is exactly what I want. We're not trying to speed run isn't the right word, but I'm focusing on finding, again, like the effort quotient, the effort maximum, the effort balance, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? But I'm trying to balance the effort between visualizing, calculating, and applying, and doing it at a speed that is not to a detriment, right? That's not to a detriment to the actual application itself. Like right now, I'm trying to see this box, I'm extending it out this much, right? It's not a detriment to the application itself, but it still is challenging, right? Like, I don't know why I said challenging like that, but it's still challenging, right? And this is really going to challenge my mark making as well. And I'm like specifically going to be drawing lines in angles that I'm not comfortable with, right? Like right now, I completely lost the seen through form of this as well as the diagonal cross sections. So again, and why am I losing it? Because I'm talking while drawing, and fuck me, bro, my throat. And I am drawing a lot more, so I have to constantly keep zooming out and see that was a mistake. And again, these are all errors that I'm making. Like this is a way that I'm finding I can make this harder for myself, is by just thinking a lot more, like constantly just thinking a lot more. And again, this line is also an error, way too thick, right? And that line's also an error, way too thick. So I'm also trying to let you know that these are all mistakes, right? Like this, I make hundreds of mistakes every single box, let alone every single visualization. And this one, again, seeing the diagonal cross section, and see, okay, that was a mistake, but this diagonal cross section, this diagonal cross section. And after I fill this page out, I'm of course going to go through it again and then just point out everything I was trying to visualize. And again, this is not going to be to the same level of fidelity that it is with my portrait series, like with the fucking box and the sphere inside the box and the center plates and all that shit. This is just not hard, not easy, but quote unquote, just trying to balance seeing, calculating, right, seeing the box, seeing through the box, calculating the diagonal cross section inside the box, while trying to also swiftly apply it. I'm building, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking talk. I'm building my capacity to execute while visualizing at a speed that is relatively fast, right? That's basically it. And right now I think that line diverges, so that's another beautiful mistake, right? And right now, like, I don't see this box as much, but that's the point. Is like, the point is I need to keep thinking while I'm drawing and keep zooming out while I'm thinking, right? And right now, like, I'm zoomed in on this plane right here. So I need to zoom out. I need to zoom out. I need to keep practicing seeing, and again, applying clean lines. Because applying clean lines, because there's multiple things going on. Look how many mistakes I made with this box. Why did that happen? Because I was trying to zoom out and maintain my zoom out while applying the line, which is very difficult. Like, not looking at where the line is. Like, I'm looking here and I'm zooming out trying to see this entire scene through box, but I'm drawing a line here. That's very difficult. Also thinking about the pen pressure while doing that, very difficult. Also thinking about the scene through form while doing that, very difficult. Also thinking about every single visible plane and invisible planes diagonal cross section while doing that. Very, very, very difficult, right? And that's the thing. That's why I'm gonna do the 500 boxes for this section for this week. It's not gonna take me a fucking week. It's gonna take me longer, but that's why I'm gonna do the 500, because I need minimum 500 repetitions to improve in this skill, right? And right now I'm seeing a relatively flat box. I'm trying to visualize it to the best of my ability, right? And I'm trying to zoom out as much as possible while seeing the diagonal cross sections. And again, this is going to train my general perspective as well to see diagonal cross sections as well, right? And again, like, I'm seeing through the form right here. I'm seeing through it, and this is why. And I'm also trying to apply it relatively fast, right? So I'm going to rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. And maybe one day I don't sound like I sucked 500 dicks in 10 seconds, right? So please rest your brain. But yeah, the principles are the same. It's all spatial reasoning, right? So the principles are the exact same, which is cognitive effort, right? And again, right now I'm trying to take a step back and try to think, like, okay, what other types of boxes can I do? Maybe I'll just do like a bunch, and then we'll just fill the fucking page up, bro. Because I'm already at 10 minutes and it's not gonna take much. I mean, like, again, I'm not trying to rush. I'm just really trying to find that optimal, not optimal, but that fine balance between visualizing, thinking, and then applying while visualizing and thinking. Like right now, I'm really trying to zoom out. And there you go, I missed, right? Because I was looking here, and I'm specifically trying to do that. I'm trying to look zoomed out, looking through the entire form while not looking at the line itself, right? That's a skill. That's a skill, and it's extremely difficult right? And oh, I looked here. But again, I'm trying to see through the form, trying to see the diagonal cross sections. For this one, I couldn't see the diagonal cross sections. I was too focused on just trying to see through the form. And my cognitive efforts, right? My working memory is all fixated on just zooming out and applying the line. Zooming out and applying the line. Think about that. Okay, you have like this general space, and while you're drawing a line here, you're looking here, right? Because you want to zoom out and see the entire picture. Very difficult. Genuinely very difficult, right? And I could obviously do some more perspective shenanigans here, right? Let's see. I thought I could do it, but maybe I still can. Yeah, I can still do it. And I'm trying to zoom out again, right? I'm trying to zoom out again, and I'm trying to see the diagonal cross sections to the best of my ability, right? Not that it's happening very well, but I am trying to. There you go. That perspective is pretty mid, but I am trying to see the diagonal cross sections as well as I can. I can't really see it that well, but I'm trying, right? And trying is really all that matters. And I'm trying to zoom out, and I'm trying to draw this box. There you go. And I was trying to like create like some perspective here, right? Whether it works or not, it doesn't really work that well, but I am constantly, like even looking at this right now, I'm constantly trying to see through this box, see the diagonal cross section on every single visible and invisible plane, right? And that's all I really give a shit about, is just constantly trying to see this. And let's get a really narrow, and this is beautiful because my line, you see how my line is so thick here and thin here, and it's so wiggly? Like this is exactly what I need to really test my skills, right? Like this is exactly what I need to really test my skills. And again, I'm really trying to zoom out here, even this one. This is more of like a perfect cube, but still I'm trying to zoom out. I'm trying to see the box to the best of my ability, see through the form, right? Constantly thinking this invisible plane, right? The diagonal cross sections. It's really taxing my working memory. This line's already a mistake as well because it's diverging a little bit, right? Like this line is pretty fucking shit. And you can tell this box looks bad. Like you can tell, maybe you don't know why, but you can tell. I'll tell you why. Because this right here is converging too fast, and then this convergence isn't this line isn't matching this line's convergence, right? And these two are diverging, right? It should be more like this. There you go. That's already better. But it was diverging. It's a mistake. Why? Because my brain was too preoccupied zooming out and trying to make sense of the box while also trying to apply it relatively fast, right? I'm not trying to be fast for the sake of being fast, but I am trying to visualize and apply within a specific speed in order to improve my mark making ability, right? Right now, I don't really have a box planned here, but I guess I do now. And I'm trying to do this. What I'm trying to do is like, I'm trying to zoom out, I'm trying to visualize. Oh, see, I missed the mark. It's off by like a millimeter, right? And while I'm doing that, I'm really trying to visualize the seen through form of the box and the diagonal cross sections, right? I'm genuinely trying to do that to the best of my ability. And obviously, up there you go, missed the mark again, right? Obviously, it's going up. There you go, missed the mark again over there. It's off by like a few millimeters. It's obviously going to be extremely difficult to apply to this degree of speed while also visualizing through the form and seeing the diagonal cross sections. But that's what we're training right now. My head's already hurting. Literally, my head's already fucking hurting because my working memory is taxed and I'm sick. So my head's really definitely already hurting, right? But let's get some thinner boxes in. We'll do it here, right? Let's get some more thin boxes. And again, I'm going to purposefully draw it from random angles in order to really get understanding of the form. And right now, like I'm trying to visualize this diagonal cross section, right? And again, these are all mistakes. These are all beautiful mistakes that I'm making right now. Like my lines are huge mistakes, right? The visualizations, I'm barely able to do it, are huge mistakes. Like this line is a horrendous mistake. And it feels good, right? This is the mark making skill that I'm trying to improve, is like improve my lines, my skills, my mark making, everything, right? It's all trying to visualize. It's all trying to just be vigilant and visualize, I guess you could say, right? And again, really, there you go. That's a horrible line, genuinely a horrible line, right? Because I could not, and I'm trying to visualize the entire box while I do this as well. And that was also off the mark, right? There you go. But I'm trying to, there you go. This is like a bit of a curved perspective, right? A bit of curvilinear perspective. But I'm trying to visualize the entire scene through form while I do this. And also, like, it's very difficult. I guess all I can do is tell you that it's difficult, but it's very difficult to make my motor skills be decent, to be honest, right? Like, it's actually like to do all of this while also drawing this fast. I think anybody who's seen any of my content, perhaps is aware that I don't draw fast, right? So this isn't like me rushing. Again, I'm not rushing to draw fast, but I am trying to improve my mark making. Part of that is how fast, how much. Part of that is articulating the speed of the mark itself, right? It's not like my goal isn't to make fast marks. My goal is to improve my articulation of the mark itself. And my thought process is that if I try to draw a little bit faster than I usually do, then it can lend way to me focusing on the line quality. See, that's a huge mistake, right? It can lend way to me focusing on the line quality while I do so. And again, that's a mistake because there's a gap. That's a mistake because the pen pressure is off, right? And again, I'm not already while I'm doing this, not only am I focusing on pen pressure, sensitivity in my mark making, which is already very difficult, I'm also trying to see every single diagonal cross section on the invisible and visible plate. I'm trying to see the entire box before I even draw it. I'm genuinely trying to calculate everything all at once. Because the goal is not to be like calculating everything all at once per se, in the sense of like, I haven't actually accomplished it, but I'm trying, and that's all that matters. My voice literally sounds like I'm sucking dick for a living. Jesus Christ, but this is a fucking like this is a prostitute voice. Oh my god. I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. But yeah, this is like I'm still thinking, by the way, I'll be very clear, like I'm still thinking. Like there's still a lot of thinking going on. Right? Like genuinely there's a lot of thinking going on. Like right now I'm already thinking about the entire I'm doing my best to think about the entire box, right? The seen through form of the box and the diagonal cross sections. I think perhaps I should slow down a little bit because I still want the quality of my thinking to be good, right? Like we still want the there you go. See, but that line was really bad. So again, like there's a lot to work on. It's beautiful, but I still want the quality of my thinking to be good, right? Like there's no point in drawing fast if the quality of my thinking isn't good, right? Because as Michelangelo said, an artist is only as good as his brain, right? And I give very good brain, as you can hear. Oh my god, even my laugh sounds disgusting. What the fuck was that? Sounds like fucking Gollum taking a shit. But anyways, and again, I'm just trying to really, and this is good, like to draw underneath forms is a great way to confuse your brain, right? Like this is extremely confusing to my brain, right? Because it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, because these are what? Obstructions, right? I use that word a lot, but I genuinely mean it. Like these are obstructions. These are obstructions to your cognitive faculties, right? Obstructions to your thinking. And right now I'm taking a step back and I'm trying to think about this front plane, the diagonal cross section, this back plane, the diagonal cross section, this diagonal cross section, this one, right? Like this one, it's blocked off, but it's here. See, I didn't know that, but it's there. And then the center point's right around there, I believe. Yeah, see, there you go. But you don't know that until you take a step back and you actually try to think. So it's good. Like these are all learning moments, right? Like these are all genuine learning moments. And again, like it's perfect because I really get to practice my linemanship and the quality of my art that way, right? Like it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. And my lines have much to be desired, genuinely much to be desired, right? But, and I might, again, like it's, the fun thing about boxes is like you can genuinely make it so interesting in so many ways. Right, like you can genuinely make it so interesting in so many ways. I am actively avoiding grouping boxes right now because that is not this exercise. This challenge, like this week one, is just to draw boxes in isolation. So, and you can see like this line was a fuck up, right? This line was a fuck up too thick. Like my standards are extremely high. Like I look at Peter Hahn's lines and I'm like, okay, see this line is decent, but that was a fuck up right there, that little gap. That was just a huge mistake. Obviously, I just made a line without meaning to. But I look at the lines of people that I admire, right? Like the goats for me, who are the goats, and that's why attach dopamine and feel good about these mistakes that I'm making because these lines are so subpar compared to even like what they shit out half asleep, half dead, fucking cocained up, right? So like again, what am I visualizing? I'm visualizing the box, visualizing the in every single plane, diagonal cross section on every single plane to the best of my ability, right? I'm trying to do that while applying these lines. And again, I'm trying to like think about different ratios of boxes too, which can be pretty different ratios, different angles, right? Like that can be pretty difficult as well. Even right now, like I'm trying to think about the box that I'm seeing through, right? I'm actively thinking, I'm visualizing and envisioning this box on the page, right? And then I'm also actively envisioning the seen through part of the box on the page. And then I'm actively also envisioning the diagonal cross section of this box on the page, right? So there's a lot of thinking before I even made a mark. There's a lot of thinking, right? There's genuinely a lot of thinking. And that's what I want to keep getting across to you. It's like, it's all fucking thinking, right? And of course, the application matters a lot, which is why I'm relatively trying to draw these at a speed that is a balance between the thinking and the application. But it is all thinking, right? At the end of the day, it genuinely is all thinking. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That should have made my point very clear. But anyways, I'm trying to think about, let's see. Let's try to have a different angle, right? Let's do something like this. And again, I'm thinking about a flat box, right? A flat box or a thinner box that has this sort of perspective, right? And I'm trying to think actually. Maybe I could go this in a couple of ways. Yeah, I want to do the bottom angle. Fuck it. It was gonna go this way, but now it's gonna go this way, right? And I am already actively thinking about the seen through part of this box. I'm not seeing it accurately, by the way. I'm actively trying to think about it, but I'm not seeing it. I want to be very clear, right? I'm actively trying to think about it, but I'm not seeing it. There's a very, very fine distinction. What the fuck? Distinction between those two. See, that line was also fuck up, right? But I'm not currently capable of seeing to the degree that I want to, but I am while I'm speaking, which is very difficult. See, that box was just wrong, right? What did I fuck up here? Well, let's see. This is converging here, but then that is diverging, right? So, huge mistake. But these mistakes happen, and you have to let them happen, right? Because again, like, and I feel good about it because I made a lot of mistakes. I couldn't warp the perspective properly. I didn't understand what I was doing, you know? And that is what you get. Like that is the beauty of learning, right? Like these mistakes that you make. Even now, like I'm really trying to zoom out. I'm really trying to zoom out and think about the seen through form of this box, right? Like here, this back plane, right? And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to think about the cross sections, and it's incredibly difficult it's incredibly difficult to think about while applying, but I'm constantly forcing my brain, right? I'm constantly trying to build the schema, the effort, the ability to immediately see through the form and build and look at the and create the cross section. Right now, I'm getting really good at seeing through the form while drawing these boxes, right? And while drawing them is very difficult. Like seeing through forms while drawing them is incredibly difficult, but I'm getting better at seeing through them while drawing them. The next step is to see through them while drawing them, while also seeing the diagonal cross sections on as many of the planes, if not all of the planes as possible, while drawing them, right? Very difficult, genuinely very difficult, right? And again, here, like, again, I'm moving a bit fast, but I'm trying to find that balance between applying this mark and zooming out in my mind and on the page and seeing the seen through form and the diagonal cross sections. And I'm barely doing that right now, but the point is I'm trying to do it, and it feels so good to try. It genuinely feels so good to try, right? So let's see. I need another box. I'm just trying to think what other box I could draw, right? I kind of left this area. It's a fucking very barren, right? And it's only been 23 minutes, which I'm surprised by. So maybe I'm gonna be fucking like putting out a lot of boxes, you know. Okay, but either way, pretty sure, yeah, like I'm just trying to think about different angles, right? Let's do something like this. And I'm trying to really see, and right now I've hit working memory taxation because I cannot see the box. I cannot see it. And I'm just like prepping ahead of time, but I can't see the seen through box. I can't see it. I actually can't see it. And this is like obviously off perspective, right? These are obviously all, like, I don't think the perspective is right here, but I can't really see that well, like in terms of the box, right? but I'm gonna try my best to understand what the fuck it is that I'm trying to see with these boxes, right? Like I'm actually trying to zoom out and see all of them all at once, which is extremely taxing for my brain. I am trying to put them all in the same perspective. I know I said I wouldn't be grouping boxes, but this is less so grouping and more so just kind of like it probably is grouping. It probably is grouping, right? But I think they're all in different perspectives. They're definitely all in different perspectives, so that's okay by me, right? And while I do this, I am trying to actively zoom out and think about the seen through forms and the diagonal cross sections while making sure my lines are decent, right? While making sure my lines are decent. So let's see, right? See, it's diverging. You see how I fucked that up? I diverged those. I had to kind of fix that there. But let's see, right around here, it comes out, and then we got a little bit there. Right, there you go. It's not that good. So yeah, I tried grouping them, but I didn't, so it's all good. Beautiful, beautiful mistakes were made, right? And what else can we do here? I can, oh, that line was already too thick, but I can really skew the perspective of this box and also try to see through the form in of itself, right? Like try, okay, see, I fucked that line up. Beautiful mistake. I just forced myself to feel good, right? My working memory capacity is definitely hitting its limit in terms of trying to see through all these forms, right? And that's the thing, like these all look like shit, right? These all look like shit, but that's how you get better. Like that's literally like me putting in all this effort to be shit is how my brain's gonna learn that, hey, like these things that he's attaching dopamine to that he feels good about, we should probably make it less shit for an extremely basic explanation. But yeah, I'm already getting a headache, but I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. Thank you. All right, now that it's been roughly half an hour, I'm gonna slow down now. So the first half, I guess I've decided. Oh god, I gotta sneeze. Fuck. Oh, oh god, bless me. Oh, my throat. Oh god. Kill me, please, kill me. Anyways, so I guess I'm deciding that the first half will be fast, and faster, and the second half will be very slow, or not slow, or slow and methodological or methodical, right? And be full of just really just visualizing while calculating. Like genuinely, that's the goal now. Is just to visualize while calculating and seeing through the form, right? And that's all I want to do right now. And this is actually going pretty well because I can actually see through this form pretty decently, and I can actually hold it in my mind pretty decently as well. Let's try to have a little bit of convergence, or that's a decent amount of convergence, but let's try to have that while I see through I'm trying to like take a step back and see through the form in of itself, right? Like understand, because the thing is like, this is the best part about drawing things behind is like, you can't lie to yourself. You have to actually understand where it's all placed, right? Like where is this box here placed? It's coming out here. And then I'm trying to see the diagonal cross sections, right? Like right around there. See, like that's actually really good practice. And then I'm trying to, there you go. That line had a lot of mistakes. See, thick to thin to wavering, thick, and then like random little tiny thin gap and then thick again. Those are all mistakes. Those are all really big mistakes. Oh god, bro. My nose is so runny. Help me. Anyways. Oh my god, I have like a fucking headache, but we just keep going. We just keep going. And it's not because of the boxes. It's because I'm sick and just thinking is giving me a headache. This is why I have to keep pushing forward, right? But anyways, now I'm gonna try to again think to the best of my ability. Let's do a bottom angle, right? Think to the best of my ability, zoom out, and try to. And again, right now I'm like zooming the fuck out right now. I'm super zoomed out. I'm like literally trying to visualize this entire region, which is extremely difficult. And I'm also trying to see through the box as well And I'm also trying to see the diagonal cross sections, right? And that is extremely difficult, like genuinely extremely difficult, right? And I keep losing the seen through form. Like right now I'm zoomed in, I'm looking at this line, right? But now I'm gonna try to zoom out and now look at the line. And see, you can tell my line suffered there because of that, right? So these are all skills. Every single one of them is a skill, right? Like everything that you struggle with is a skill that you can improve. It is not something that you innately lack. You are simply new and you have not put in the hundreds of fucking thousands of repetitions to be good at it. It's simple. I have not put in 100,000 repetitions to be good. Intentional repetitions, right? And you might argue, that's a lot of reps, bro. That's a bit too much. The answer is yes, right? And it's not too much because anybody who gives a shit about any skill doesn't think about it that way, right? And if you think about it that way, you cannot. You can, again, reframe it to just effort, right? Just effort. But anyways, like this, again, I'm trying to like design them nicely too, but this all looks like shit. I was trying to get a flow going, but this is not a good flow, right? So let's see. I'm trying to think about a box I can draw. Oh, we can do something like this. I'm trying to visualize this. I'm trying to take a step back. See? Line going to shit. Lines, of course, going to shit. Right? And this is good because it's showing me exactly like how much my line work really needs work, right? Such a good, funny rhyming. Anyways, Jesus Christ. That was a fuck up too. See, I had to curve it because I couldn't meet it properly. I'm trying to visualize and see through this box to the best of my ability. And while I do that, I'm also trying to zoom out and see the diagonal cross section for the invisible and visible planes, right? Like here, diagonal cross section. I'm trying to really see it. So yeah, slowing down definitely helps. Right? It's good. It's a good mix. But this is gonna be a very tough session for me. Genuinely very tough. It already has been, but like the headache and the mental pressure, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But again, trying to zoom out, trying to get the entire box visualized, right? And that line was a mistake because it wasn't supposed to go in that angle. But trying to get the entire box visualized. And again, my lines are beautifully suffering, but I'm trying to get the entire box visualized. I'm trying to visualize the seen through form. And again, while it gets easier to visualize the seen through form and the diagonal cross sections as I draw it, right? Like I'm removing cognitive load of visualizing the box while I draw the box, right? Visualizing the three planes. And that makes it easier to visualize the invisible planes and the diagonal cross sections there, right? Am I actually doing this super well? No, right? In terms of like before I even draw the box, but am I trying? Yes, which is all that fucking matters, right? So let's do another box here. And I am trying to do it in different angles. I can't tell, do I have like a specific pattern? I need to avoid patterns, right? We need to avoid drawing in only angles that we're comfortable with, right? I feel as if at this point I'm pretty comfortable with many angles, but how about this one? How about, like I do feel as if I'm pretty comfortable with many angles. And right now with this box, I'm trying to zoom out and see the entire diagonal cross section and the form itself, but I'm zooming out, right? And again, I zoomed in there while I looked at this line. That's a mistake. And I'm trying really hard not to zoom in while I look up. See, there you go. And I'm officially zoomed out here, but my lines suffered, right? My lines suffered. Oh God, bro, my fucking everything is going to shit. But now like basically this box is already done, but I'm trying to visualize seeing through it and seeing the diagonal cross sections, right? If you're wondering what I mean by diagonal cross sections, I'm talking about this. Let me just give you an example. This is what I'm going to be doing at the end of the recording session, but this is what I mean, right? Let's start with the box I started with. This is what I'm trying to visualize before I make the mark. This, okay? This is what I'm trying to visualize before I make the mark. Am I doing it? No, I'm trying to, because I don't see all of this, obviously, right? That's a lot to see, and it's something I'm going to consistently build the skill to see, right? But this is what I'm trying to visualize as I draw every single one of these boxes. I'm attempting to just tax my cognitive, my working memory and exert a lot of cognitive effort to tax it, right? Because art is that. Art is just fucking application, and it's thinking and then application and then thinking and application. Like that's literally it. That's many skills as well. It's not just art, right? But art is 100% without a doubt a thinking skill in which your motor movements much catch up with, right? And it's a positive feedback loop. The harder you think, the more you're trying to match your thinking. The harder you're thinking, like it's just fucking back and forth, bro, back and forth, back and forth. Anyways, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well, right? Ugh. Oh God, kill me. Okay, cool. Let's keep going, right? Fill out this fucking page. Okay, so back to thinking, right? And again, I'm already like exerting so much brain energy, and that's the goal. The goal is to exert as much fucking brain energy as possible while visualizing and applying, right? Like that's what I'm trying to do right now, is just exert. And you see my lines are suffering because of it, right? And that's also because my lines in general aren't that good. And yeah, I know I'm just repeating myself over and over, but I'm trying to make it very clear what I'm thinking, right? Which is why I always implore every single one of you to draw along, because I have nothing of value to say, apart from the fact that this repository will serve to be valuable probably 5-10 years from now, right? When, again, like I was thinking through the box, I was seeing the diagonal cross sections to the best of my ability, right? Yeah, it'll be this will all only be valuable 5-10 years from now, in retrospect, right? Maybe not this fucking video, because my voice sounds like shit, right? There's no commanding authority in my voice, right? But, let's see. Just think about a different angle I can do. And I want to do a difficult angle for the line work as well. Let's see. Okay, how about something like... See, my line's already suffering because I really struggle with pushing out in this angle. Okay. And I'm trying to zoom out as much as I can. Like as much as I possibly can. I'm trying to visualize this entire box, right? I'm trying to visualize it all. Trying to visualize seeing through the box, trying to visualize the diagonal cross sections, trying to visualize the invisible and visible versions of that, right? And at the same time, I'm trying to also be very spatially aware of where each line goes, how it meets, right? All that stuff. And also, again, being very, very, very cognizant, right, of my motor applicability. That's a bad box. It's diverging, right? This is not a good box. Like, I actually fucked it up quite drastically. But that's good. Like, these are the mistakes that genuinely help you learn, right? So we're going to try again here now. We're going to try again here. And again, I'm already trying to visualize the box and trying to see through it to the best of my ability, right? It ends right around here. Yeah, and like this is beautiful because I get to practice visualizing through forms, underneath forms, behind forms. Like that all makes a difference. It all makes a huge difference, right? Trying to visualize. There you go, just like that. This is the seen through form, diagonal cross section, invisible, right? Invisible right there, invisible right there, and then this is the invisible right over here, right around there. Yeah. And it's all like, it's not vague, but it's not super clear or anything either, right? It's just a constant cognitive attempt, right? That's really all it is. Bro, I want to get tissues so badly. Oh God. Ugh. Okay, it's gonna be a long session. It's gonna be a long session because it hurts to talk. I probably shouldn't be talking right now, but my goddamn job is to talk and explain what I'm thinking. So what am I trying to do right now? I'm trying to think about another box that I could draw, right? And this time, why don't we group these just to make it, and that line was already off. But again, it's beautiful because these are lines that I struggle with. He's like that, right? And I'm trying to visualize the seen through form for every single one of these boxes, right? And I'm genuinely struggling with doing so because I'm barely visualizing, right? I'm just like trying to get the boxes themselves, just like the visible planes, to be seen in my mind right now. but I'm really trying to push through and try to think about the invisible sides of these boxes as well, right? And like this one's a fuck up because I didn't extend it as much, right? So yeah, it's all mistakes. It's all beautiful, beautiful mistakes. And like that line also started off incorrectly. You can see that was a mistake as well, right? And let's see, let's try to really extend this outward, like so, right? And let's see, how am I gonna do this? Because the perspective needs to make sense, right? Let's see, maybe something like, and I'm trying to visualize, really, like I'm genuinely trying to visualize a lot. And this box is kind of mid, but it's okay. Oh, I'm struggling so much. Like right now, my brain couldn't even comprehend that, like what this box looked like. But seeing through, I can kind of see it a little bit better now. Right? But again, like I can't really see the diagonal cross sections at all. But now that I mentioned it, I'm trying really, really, really hard to see the diagonal cross sections while also keeping the perspective in mind. And you can see I fucked up this line. And the beautiful thing about all of this is like I'm genuinely not trying to fuck up, right? Like that's the beautiful thing is like you try not to fuck up and then you inevitably do fuck up. And that's where you attach dopamine to your mistakes. You feel good about your mistakes, and that's because you're just constantly putting in as much cognitive effort as possible, right? And same thing here. Let me just oof. That one was pretty hard. Okay, this one I'm trying to visualize. I'm trying to see through all these boxes. I'm really trying to see through all these boxes. That line was not good. That was a bad line, right? That was still, I went over it. It's still a bad line. But yeah, that was very difficult. That was very difficult. I don't know if I'm doing challenge 52 correctly, to be honest. I don't know. I actually don't know. But I mean, I looked at the guidelines and it's just draw boxes in many, many, many perspectives, right? So I'm just trying to do that. I mean, I'm not doing it correctly because I guess my boxes need a lot of work, right? So technically I am doing it correctly. But yeah, you see, like even with all the shit that all the work that I put into my perspective, I still have so much I can do, right? There's still so much I can learn. Like it's beautiful. It's genuinely beautiful. And like right now, I purposefully made this box look wonky so I can actively think about the perspective. Like now I have to like really think about what this box is gonna look like because I don't know anymore, right? Like I really fucked up the perspective here. So I have to think a lot. Like I have to think a lot about what it's going to look like. And I think something like that. I'm trying to see through the form as well to the best of my ability. And I think it kind of worked out. Not really. I think there's definitely a mistake, which is, what is it? What is the mistake here? Because this doesn't look good. Oh, this should have been a lot more foreshortened, this line. But I started with that, right? So it would have been hard to figure out. This is actually too much curvature. If it was just a little bit straighter, it'll look a bit better. Yeah, this is the problem. This one right here, it didn't need to go, I did not need to foreshorten it that much at all. There you go. That's already better. Okay, but again, beautiful mistakes being made. Right, I'm gonna draw one more, and then we're going to rest our brain again. Right, and I'm just gonna keep trying to fill this page out and keep trying to see boxes and understand them to the best of my ability. Right, trying to think about constantly the horizon line, the vanishing point, everything, trying to see through the form. Right, trying to really see through the form. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Even now, I'm trying to really see through this thing's form and the diagonal cross sections that could occur, like this. It's so fucking hard, and that's why it's worth it. Because my brain is, see, that line was a mistake as well. But my brain is so taxed trying to see through this form right now and to see all the diagonal cross sections while also zooming out. Like it's beautiful. And I'm purposefully going to draw in an angle with my fingers that is difficult, right? Because we got to do things that are difficult. Anyways, let me rest my brain. Right? I encourage you to do so as well. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to lean into thinking as hard as possible, right? Like that's the entire goal, is just try to think as hard as possible. Oh, I haven't been doing many boxes with tilt, and that's something that I need to constantly focus on. I don't think I've been tilting my boxes much. So right now I'm really trying to visualize this box and its tilt to the best of my ability. And also trying to, see, that line was a mistake. But also I'm really trying to zoom out and visualize. Oh, this is so difficult. I love this. I'm trying to zoom out and visualize the entire box. Oh, I zoomed in. That's a mistake. I shouldn't have been looking there. I'm trying to zoom out and visualize this entire box while also trying to see through the form of the box and also see the diagonal cross sections. That was very difficult. That was genuinely very, very difficult, right? I'll do the same thing here. I'll do another box that's tilted, right? That's tilted, and I'm going to think to the best of my ability the seen through version of that box. I'm already calculating inside the box as well, right? And now while I do that, I'm gonna try my fucking best to, and my speech is very stilted because of that. You can see my lines are suffering. And I'm gonna try my fucking best to visualize the diagonal cross sections. And see, that was a mistake. Like what I just ghosted there was a mistake. It's obviously hard to notice if you're watching, which I don't know why anybody is watching this. I hope you're trying along, right? But yeah. Very, very, very difficult, right? Very fun. But anyways, let's try to think about another box. I want to keep tilting boxes. Let's do something like this, right? And again, I'll purposefully, there you go, that line was a fuck up. I'll purposefully put it behind other boxes such that it is difficult to visualize and calculate. But that's exactly what's going to give me, see, that's a mistake. It's diverging. This box is already wrong, but maybe I can fix it, right? I can fix her. Might as well fix this as well. But anyways, like I did not do much visualizing for this one, but I made a lot of mistakes, which is great. You can, again, I hope you can tell, right? Like same person drew this, which looks like, oh yeah, three-dimensional, nice. Like it has a million mistakes, but it all comes down to like, no matter how good, I don't think this is good, by the way. I think this has a lot of issues. I don't understand gesture, line, form, composition, perspective, fucking design, shapes. There's like a million things I don't understand, right? So nothing good about this, but it's an attempt. But no matter how good, quote unquote, you might be, the basics will always be there to remind you that you can get better, right? Your lines can be better, your perspective can be better, your understanding can be better, your visualization can be better, your calculations can be better, your intuition can be better, everything can be better from just practicing simple forms, right? And you should be thankful for that, because there's nothing that has as great, and that line was a mistake as well, but there's nothing that has as great of a return on investment apart from, and that line was a mistake as well, apart from perspective, right? Forms and perspective. Like literally nothing else has as much of a return on investment to your artistic journey than simple forms. Like literally. And I know that makes a lot of beginners uncomfortable because you're fucking pussies, right? You don't want to do the hard thing. You think this is boring. This is not boring. It's extremely difficult to visualize a box, to visualize the internal planes of the box, to visualize the diagonal cross section, invisible and visible of the box is extremely difficult. To make it even simpler, not easy, but to make it even simpler, to simply visualize a line here, 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 all while going to a vanishing point here, here, and here. It's extremely difficult. Not easy. It is not boring, right? Because this shape is simple, you conflate it with boredom because you're a fucking idiot. Just like I was 3 years ago, 3 years and 8 months ago when I started art. Or like 4 years ago when I quit art multiple times, 4 or 5 years ago, right? Like the mindset is, the mindset that for some reason permeates the entirety of the beginner art community is, oh, it's boring, it's boring, it's boring. Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I know my voice is not really imposing right now, but shut the fuck up. There you go, is that better? But shut the fuck up, like just shut the fuck up, okay? If it was boring, you could do this 100 times over. It's boring, right? Do it 100 times, do it 500 times, and don't even think, just do it because it's boring. Therefore, it's not stimulating. Therefore, it's easy, right? Wrong, dumbass, right? You can't fucking do this without thinking. Therefore, your ego shields you from the fact that something so simple cannot be so difficult. Therefore, it must be boring. It's like, shut the fuck up. Fucking throw your ego in the garbage. Your ego, garbage. Get rid of it. It doesn't exist. Not when you're learning. And you'll always be learning, therefore you always have no ego. You are allowed to be proudful, right? Proudful. You're allowed to be proud of what you have done. But you are not allowed to, in my opinion, be egotistical about what you cannot accomplish and look down on things that you're incapable of, all right? Because that is a skill issue. That is a deficit in effort and intentional repetitions. All right, let me point at the fucking page a bit more. But yeah, not easy, but you're capable of that. I want to be very clear before I continue shit talking. Every single one of you is capable of doing this and putting in the effort and getting to a point where you fucking see like goddamn tetra fucking -10 dimensions or whatever the fuck, right? Everybody's capable of that. It just comes down to sheer volume and intentional volume. Intentional, not fuck around, but focused, effortful volume over decades. Right, but anyways, fuck, how long has it been? Oh, it's already been 51 minutes. Okay, let's try to, well, let's just keep going. Let me do a couple more boxes. I'll rest my brain and then we'll fill up the rest of this page. Right, and let's see. Fuck, I don't know where else I should. Let me try to get a box like this. See, that was a pretty good line. Like, that's my standard for a line, like that level of a thin line. And I'm not meeting it right now here, clearly, right? And I zoomed in there, which wasn't good, but I want to add more. I want to make these boxes even fucking bigger, just for shits. And this is very difficult. Like, I've never zoomed out to create a box that big. So to visualize and to see through this box, right, to visualize this entire box and then see through it on the invisible side is effortful. It's extremely difficult, right? And to ignore the obstructions in its way is also very effortful and very difficult, right? And that's exactly why it's worth doing. Let me just move this up. But that's exactly why it's worth doing, right? And while I'm drawing this, I'm genuinely trying to visualize and, you know, have my marks be decent enough to the best of my ability, right? And yeah, and to see through the box and see the diagonal cross sections. Hold up, I gotta see this again. Fuck. Oh god. Please, Kami-sama, please. God damn. Well, this mic does have noise canceling, so I hope it's okay. Right. And I'm doing a little bit of curve just to, let's see, that's already wrong. Right, like beautiful mistakes. And I'm obviously using my shoulder here, which I don't do often. So it's very difficult to connect. Now, I'm calculating the entire seam through box right now, which actually is a lot easier because I've drawn the entire box. But I'm just going to, quote unquote, intuitively say this is the center line. Now, am I accurate? Let's see. But that's the center line. So go through there. Let's see. This is the diagonal cross section. This is this diagonal cross section. No, I'm off by like a couple millimeters. It should be roughly closer to here. But you see, that's what happens when you consistently practice. You can see center points a lot easier. And when you can see center points, that means you can see diagonal cross sections. When you can see that, that means you can calculate. And when you can calculate, you can also be in proportion, right? You can get a lot of other skills. They all trickle down, right? Let me do one more. And then I think, honestly, on the other side of the page, I might focus on doing like a few boxes that are the exact same size rotated. So it'll really get me down with proportion as well. I think that's what I'll do next time, because this is kind of haphazard and this is just my first attempt at doing this like challenge properly. But I think this is a bit half-assed, right? Like it's effortful, don't get me wrong, but I think I could be doing a lot better. But again, I love this. I'm making such beautiful mistakes with my lines, and I'm trying really hard to zoom out and to see the entire box. And right now I can barely see through the entire box. I'll be completely honest, I can barely see through it, but I'm trying really hard to, because also like my motor skills, the cognitive energy I'm spending towards being aware of my motor skills is not trivial. Like it is also taxing my working memory. Like I would like you to also be okay with having that internalization. Is like, oh, it's normal. It is normal for it to take a lot of mental energy just to even apply a line, because of course I fucking would. right? Of course it would. If you haven't applied lines before and gone from one point to another and made it clean and proper and all that shit, of course it takes a lot of mental energy to do so. And I'm doing that while also trying to zoom out, visualize the entire box, visualize all the invisible and visible planes, and visualize the cross sections inside those visible and invisible planes. Of course it's fucking difficult. And then also I'm trying to do that while applying, right? Like look how much my lines are suffering because I'm trying to think about dozens of things at once, right? Oh, fuck me, I dropped the pen cap again. It's normal. Oh God, bro. My nose is so runny. I'm gonna go rest my brain and also get a tissue. Please rest your brain as well, Jesus. All right, cool. This is my last round, I guess, of drawing boxes, and then we'll call it because it's almost been an hour. But yeah, like, and the thing is, I genuinely am trying really hard to make my lines decent. They simply aren't, you know, because there's again a dozen other things that I'm trying to actively think about, right? But it's good. Like this is just a reflection that I have so much to work on, and it's amazing. Like I thought my boxes were decent. I look at this and I'm like, especially my lines, ass, absolute ass, right? And that's a good thing. Like I'm glad that it's bad. Bars, 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 bars. But yeah, I'm glad that it's fucking shit. But anyways, I'm just trying to visualize the box right now. I'm gonna do a curvilinear perspective. There you go. And now I'm trying to think about I'm trying to zoom out as much as possible, but right now I am zoomed in looking here, right? But I'm trying to zoom out and think about the overall box in of itself and its seen through form, right? And let me just, there you go, and this here. Again, I'm trying to visualize this seen through box and the diagonal cross sections, right? Even this has diagonal cross sections right around here, right? The invisible plane, this like bottom plane projected outward from this top one. And my line's gonna definitely suffer here, or I thought it would, but it's okay, right? But even then, like, it has a lot of issues, right? But this is how we learn. It's constantly making mistakes. Like right now I'm looking at this and I see through the box pretty well. But how'd I get here? How'd I get to the point where I can see through the box and see diagonal cross sections, right? Because I practiced it for 130 fucking hours with the portrait roadmap, right? And I'm still not done there. I'm literally just still not done there. That's gonna go on for another 400 hours. But anyways, that's besides the point. It's like constantly thinking. So again, let me just try to get another box here. Right, I'm just trying to think right now, like what type of box I want, because my cognitive energy is basically spent. You know, like I've used up quite a bit of it for this work session or this drawing session. So I'm just trying to think of even like a decent box that could exist, but it's incredibly difficult to do so. I'm thinking maybe something that's really wide, right? And then I could also, there you go, going that way. So I'm trying to explicitly see through this box, and I'm trying to make sure my line is good while I see through this box. You see, I'm making a lot of mistakes. The line is not good. I'm zooming out. I'm zooming out as often as I can. I'm trying to see the diagonal cross sections, and I can't see it because I lost it multiple times. But I'm trying very hard to visualize and see through the box while applying and zooming out. Like there's essentially, I just mentioned like 4 different things I'm doing. And of those 4 things, each of them requires at least like half a dozen to a dozen calculations, right? Or things to hold in my mind to think about, right? But now I see the see-through box. And you can see that like it's right here, this is the other side, right? This is this side. And actually, no, this is pretty wrong. There you go. It's like this, like right around here, right? And that's the seen through box. And then I see the diagonal cross sections. And that, like, just seeing this invisible XYZ axis is still very difficult for me, right? Like, I'm still struggling quite a bit with it, but it's getting better. It's getting a lot better. It's getting a lot better. But either way, let's do a couple more boxes. Yeah, it's been an hour. Let's do a couple more boxes, and then I'll call it a day, right? And so let's do one right around here. Which angle? I think this angle. I want to do a tilted angle. And I'll do a tilted angle that's specifically going against this to make it even more difficult for myself. So let's do something like, yeah, like this. And we'll specifically make it larger. And you see how I didn't connect this? This is off by a couple millimeters. This line and this, like, that's another skill because I was zooming out, but I'm not that, but I'm still have a lot to learn when it comes to zooming out, right? But yeah, I'm trying to zoom out right now. My eyes are fucking burning with how much effort I'm putting in. I'm also sick, so let's not forget that, right? But I'm trying to see, I'm zoomed out, I'm trying to see the diagonal cross sections, I'm trying to see through the form, right? I'm trying to also make sure my lines are decent, right? There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to think about, and I'm gonna keep repeating that there's a lot to think about because drawing is thinking, right? Drawing is thinking, drawing is thinking. I'll say it as many times as I need to. And I had to look here because I still don't have the ability to zoom out and like accurately connect these lines yet. Right? And there you go. And now I'm gonna analyze this and I'm gonna see the diagonal cross section. I think the center point's right around here somewhere. Let's see. That's the center point. It is relatively accurate, but again, I'm off by a couple millimeters, right? Am I? Yeah, I'm off by a couple millimeters. But this is pretty accurate. This way's pretty accurate. But yeah, like, again, just practice. Just constantly try to think and constantly resting in between your bouts of thinking, right? Because gotta use the spacing effect, gotta use the micro gap effects, all that shit. But let me just draw one more box and then I'll call it a day. But just know that this is what I'm trying to visualize. Every box I've drawn, this is literally what I'm trying to visualize. And I'm trying to meet or match that balance between how much I'm thinking and how, not fast, but how effectively and efficiently I'm applying the line, right? Applying the line, Jesus Christ. But let's do this. And again, like, this is beautiful because my lines need so much work. So like, I might just do a fucking 1,000 repetitions just for shits. Like, I might literally just do 1,000 boxes just because I want to, right? I don't even know how many boxes I've done. I'm gonna have to calculate it. Let's just say I'll do 10 pages. I'll do 10 pages. That has to be like 500 boxes, right? If I do 10 pages, let's see, and then where do I want this to end? We'll have it end right around here. No, we'll have it end right around here. There you go. There you go. And now again, like, where's the center line for all this? I'm trying to see through the form. I think it's like right around there, right? That's the back plane. And now where's the center line? I think the center line's right here. Diagonal cross section, diagonal cross section. Yep, center line's like right around there, right? So very difficult, but very fun. But I'm gonna leave it here for now. Let me just, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here for now, right? So again, I hope you tried a fuck ton. Thank you again for athoro, my god, right? Athoro's my god, yay! For challenge 52, this is gonna be a great way for me to keep practicing my general geometric spatial reasoning on top of the portrait roadmap, and I'm excited to do this new interleaving portrait, you know, with a intensive geometric foundation schema that I'm building. This to like really get my understanding of forms and just line work down, and then figures for dynamic use of perspective, and then hands for also dynamic use of perspective, right? So with that being said, I hope you could bear with my fucking voice, like my god awful voice being lost. Yeah, I have a fucking headache, but again, it's because I'm sick. Usually I just get pressure in my brain, but this time it's an actual headache because of all the energy I've been using. But with that being said, I hope you put a lot of effort in. I hope you tried your best. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please, give me money, give me money.